Now, over the past few years of running a portrait photography business, I've worked with all sorts of different types of clients. I've worked with clothing brands, I've worked with individuals like models and actors and obviously, etc., all different types of stuff. And the one like underrated aspect that I've found that will actually make or break if you land clients or not is the experience that you give your current clients. What type of experience do you give them that would want them to refer you to other potential clients? And by the way, once you want more advanced, more personal guidance with building up your photography business, my program would be perfect for you. When you join the program, you'll get access to courses and regular portfolio reviews, which will help you keep you on the right track to success and to help you just land more clients as a photographer. So if you're interested in that, click the top link below in the description for more details. But for now, let's get back into the video. Okay, so I want you to be honest with yourself right now. Would you hire you as a photographer, full well knowing how you work with clients and the general vibe that you give when you're on your shoots? You may take good photos, but the problem is your vibe is just kind of off. You know what I mean? You're a little bit awkward, you're a little bit timid, you give lack of direction. You're quite reserved as a photographer. Maybe you're really quiet when you're trying to communicate with your models or with the person that you're photographing. Or maybe on the other opposite side of the spectrum and you're way too bossy, you're way too strict and professional and uptight, and maybe you're a little bit rude too. And I just think no matter how good your photos are, if you gave a very terrible or just off experience for the clients, that will literally tarnish your reputation as a portrait photographer. And you will most likely get less bookings because of that. Okay, so how could you provide the best experience for your clients? First things first, what do clients look for in a photographer that they're hiring? They want someone who has clear direction, someone who's confident, someone who's quite social and has a fun vibe about them. You just want to be fun to be around, basically. Doing these things alone will not only ensure a stressless experience for the clients, but also will prove to them and shows them that they're in the right hands. They're in the right hands and they're going to get the best photos possible. Obviously, it's easy to say just be professional and be confident, but one way to help with that is preparation. Preparation is key. Because right now, the reason why you're quite timid or quite awkward on set is because you're not preparing for the shoot. You're being very complacent. You're rocking up with no plan, no vision. You've got no poses in your head. You think that, oh, I'll just freestyle it. I got acapella, just whatever. Like, I'm just gonna do it on the day because I'm good at what I do or something like that. And then it doesn't turn out that way on the day. So one of the main ways that I like to prepare for all my client shoots, for even my free portfolio creative shoots, is by creating a shot list. Okay, so what does a shot list look like, you may ask? Well, it could look something like this. So what this was for a shot list for a little small headshot session that I did with a screenwriter, like a film screenwriter, and she wanted to get some photos in a coffee shop. So very simple, a basic photo shoot. I shot it on film, so it was really cool. But I made a little mini shot list for what we were gonna go for on the day. So you can see here, I've started with this. So interacting with book and drink, looking off into the distance. Like, example shots of what you can go for. It's like reference photos, basically, of like, it's a good starting point. It gives you a good idea of what you're going for. It's basically like a pose list, essentially, of like, this type of poses I want to do, this type of shots that I want to get. So boom. So there's that. A second one was like a various hand placements, models smiling into camera. Got some examples here like that, looking off into the distance, maybe some in the camera, like got some stuff there. And then lastly, various shots of model writing in the notepad / typing on a laptop, depending on what she brought on the day. So you can see, obviously we did other shots too, like we did some more like basic headshot type of shots where it was just against a plain backdrop. But these are like the more creative stuff that we did, like the more like interactive, more like dynamic types of poses that we did and types of shots. But you can see, it's like a pose list. You're just going through like the pose. It's like a checklist. Okay, we'll do something like this first, then we'll move on to this, and move on to that. And because I literally made this, took like what, 10 minutes to make. I just found these photos on Pinterest, on Google Images, just finding some reference photos to use, and I just put them in there, and it was just reference. Because you can imagine, on the day I have my laptop with me, and I'll just put it on the desk or something like that in the corner of the room or something near us, and I'll just like look at it and go, okay, we'll do that first, and then that next, and that next. And the shoot was like, me and her name's Holly, we planned the shoot for like 2 hours or something, like to be like an hour or something like that. We was there for like 20 minutes. The shoot was like 20 minutes. I think it was literally because of this. I know it was because I created this shot list and because we were able just to speed through it. There was never this moment of like, oh, what do we do next and this and that. I mean, it was never like that because we had it all planned out beforehand. And I actually sent this to her before the shoot too, because you can imagine, like, I'm not going to keep it to myself. I'm going to send it to the client, to the model, whoever, because then they can, like, maybe they want to practice the poses at home. Because some people who are more newer to modeling or never modeled before, they're not used to like having their faces being on camera, so they might have to practice these poses in the mirror and just getting better at it, getting comfortable at that sort of stuff. So sending them this beforehand is really good, and also just in case that you forget a shot and then may think of a shot because they've seen this and they think of their own little thing, which is really cool, because then that makes the experience very collaborative in that sense, which is really nice for you and the model or the clients or whatever. But you can imagine when I'm on the day, because I know exactly what I want to do first, I kind of know the schedule in my head and the list of types of shots I want to get, I'm coming in very confident, very prepared, very professional. I'm coming up going, oh, like, nice to meet you, lovely to meet you, thank you so much for hiring me for this, blah, 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 blah. Okay, first shot, we're gonna do this, blah, blah, blah. We're moving the desks around, we're moving everything around. It's very quick, very snappy, but not in a way where it's very intimidating, where I'm like rushing everyone around, but in a way where it's like, I'm showing direction, I know what I'm doing. And she even told me afterwards, I think she told me that, oh yeah, you were very professional, thank you, like, you really made me feel comfortable in front of the camera, you know what you were doing, and I'm happy that I hired you. I wouldn't have got that, like that testimonial, way when I call it, or whatever, or referral or whatever, if it wasn't for this shot list. And also, you can imagine if they're trying to refer you to other people, they can literally refer you. They can literally be like, oh yeah, this is a photographer. They created a whole like presentation and shot list for me. Like, that's so cool. Like, you can see how you're going to stand out to other photographers that way, because a lot of photographers, especially for more commercial, more standard headshot type of sessions, they won't prepare for it because they think, oh, I'll just get the basic shot where they're looking at the camera, some smiling stuff, and I'll just won't even prepare for it. And because of that, if they're not creating that personalized and very special experience for the client, because you also can imagine if you're creating something like this, the client almost feels appreciated. They feel like you've prepared and you're not just rocking up on the day, just not knowing what to do next. Like, you know what you're doing. You're creating a very special personalized experience for the clients, which obviously they will love. And you can imagine if they're telling other people about what you're doing. Oh yeah, they created a whole PDF for me, they did a whole thing for me. Maybe feel really comfortable and they're really professional and got the shoot done in like a quarter of the time we initially planned. That's going to make you look like a fucking G. And you can imagine how a shot list is especially important for photographers who struggle with poses. So if you're a photographer right now that kind of struggles with like finding out a pose you want to do, this is literally a cheat code. Like, there's no rule behind, oh, you have to memorize every single pose before the shoot. Obviously, you can have it in your mind, you know exactly what you want to do. But again, like I said, you can literally bring your laptop on the day or your iPad on the day, mount it on the wall or on a desk or something, and then just point to it. Okay, do something like that. It's probably actually better you do that, because now, especially if you're working with someone who doesn't really know how to model, they can basically just mirror the reference photos, you know what I mean? So yeah, like, and that's another thing too that's really helped with my poses as well, is that, and now I'm kind of lazy with it, to be honest with you, but I just create like a massive like pose list and a shot list of all different types of poses that I could do, and I just look at that. And be like, let's do that. Obviously, I do finger poses on the spot as well, especially the model. We go collaborate on that. We can like think of our own poses. But for the most part, I'm just looking at the shot list on my laptop, being like, do that next, and it's fine. There's something bad about doing that, as long as you don't like. It's better than just being like, oh, what do I do? I don't want to do. Like, oh, I'm just sitting around going like, for like 5 minutes, not knowing what to do next. But you're actually just being like, you're on the ball. And again, like I mentioned earlier, if you want the blueprints of building up a profitable photography business, click the top link below, which is my photography program, Genius University. Get personal advice, also get access to some really interesting and informative courses that will give you some marketing strategies, tell you how to price yourself, how to build up your network, and there's everything that you need to know about building up a profitable photography business. So again, if you're interested, click the top link below. I want to see you inside. Another thing that you can do if you're in the studio, create a lighting plan, create a lighting diagram. Obviously, in that case, you don't obviously have to send it to the client, obviously keep it to yourself for that stuff, but yeah, just show. Remember, even then you can make lighting plans of like, okay, this is what the lighting is going to look like, and send them that instead. Not like sending them the exact diagram and like what softboxes or modifiers you're going to use, but in a way of like, hey, this is what the lighting is kind of going to look like, and let me know what you think, that sort of vibe, because then they know what to expect. I personally plan my lighting and create lighting diagrams for all of my shoots. If it's a paid shoot or if it's a free collaborative portfolio building shoot, it doesn't matter, I'm doing that. Because you could probably ask any of like the models that I used to work with like 2-3 years ago when I was like kind of starting out, they would probably say the same thing of like, yeah, if it was in a studio, lighting was definitely a weak point for me. Not because the lighting was bad, but more because I didn't really know what I was doing with the lighting in terms of placements. It would take like 45 minutes just to set up the lighting and figuring out where the light should be. Now, because I've approached my photo shoots in this way where I'm planning the photo shoots beforehand, or planning the lighting beforehand, like I'm like setting the lights and the lighting is done in like 10 minutes. Like, oh yeah, lighting's done, ready to shoot. Before that used to take me like an hour. Now it takes me like 10 minutes simply because I've planned it out. So you can imagine if you're working for a client, even if it's for yourself, like a portfolio building shoot, but let's say it is for like a client shoot, you're rocking up to a studio, you're like bang, 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 lights, done. So, oh, we're finished already, I'm not ready. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you look so professional that way because it's like you've done everything so efficiently and you look so professional. And also just for you too, with your, like I said kind of prior when I said about, clients want to see that you're very confident and social and that type of stuff, right? It's quite hard to be confident and social if you have no idea what you're doing on the day. It mainly comes down to you preparing for the photo shoot beforehand and you knowing exactly what to do. Because if you've planned your lighting and you've planned the shot list, you know exactly how the day is going to go, you can allow yourself, you relax a little bit more. You notice that you're relaxed a bit, you kind of like, you're chilled, you are just, yeah. Because now you don't have to overthink about, oh, is the lighting right? Or what pose do I do first? Like, you can just be like, chill, because like, you know what you're doing, so you can start talking to them, you know what I mean, take a sip of coffee and like having fun, asking them like even just making small talk with them, getting to know them more, like stuff like that. And you're making a very fun experience for the client, but you couldn't really do that if you don't really know what you're doing. Ever since I started approaching my photo shoots in this way, and I've emphasize the planning and the pre-production phase of my photo shoots, I'm creating the best photos possible, but I'm also providing an amazing experience for the client. Because it's not all about just creating the best photos, but it's also about creating an unforgettable experience for your clients. Anyway, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, don't forget to check out my photography program, which is linked in the description below, Photogenius University. I will personally tell you how to build up a profitable photography business. I will give you the blueprint to marketing yourself as a photographer, to networking, pricing yourself, what type of photos that you need to create, really specializing your portfolio to land you those high-paying clients. You exactly how you should approach your photo shoots. It is personal advice basically, but also get access to courses that will tell you all these things. Go on calls with me every single week. It's a fun time. So join the program. Top link in the description below. Want to check it out? See if you're interested in that. Just look at the VSL. Look at what I offer, and I really would like you to join. I would love to have you in there because I want to help you. I wish I had something like this when I first started, or when I was in a rut, or when I was just like coming up. So yeah, join the program. Top link in the description below. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching though. Like, subscribe, comment, click on any of these videos here to learn more about portrait photography. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.